Hello and welcome to the new vlog for today's Times crossword. I think it's the 3rd of April, so let's see how we go. Seabird beginning to get out of breath, apparently. Okay, this is probably not the easiest place to start, but quid in crosswords, as a tip for you, often is referring to a quid of tobacco, which is something you chew, and that's securing a second, a S, for a nut, which is a cashew. There are other ways of getting to that. You can think of 6-letter nuts that contain an A and an S, for example, and that probably cashew should occur quite quickly. So let's see if we can make use of these starting letters. Agree to play trick on scoundrel. Okay, so that's quite gettable as well. The quick part of the definition there is agree. So that's my favourite monitor. Just turn that down. So agree. If we can think of a 6-letter word for agree beginning with C, we're halfway there. And I thought of concur. So to play trick on is to con, and a scoundrel is a cur. And that's another quite frequent synonym that you'll see in these puzzles. Let's move on. 6 down. Youth needs one place in train. No. Oh. School. No. These days gold underpinning universe. Okay, again, this is reasonably gettable. So we're looking for a republic here. 7 letters beginning with E. And the reason I think that that's the definition is that these days sounds like AD, Anno Domini. So I think we're looking for AD. Gold is a very common abbreviation again in crosswords, either OR or AU, as in the chemical symbol, underpinning unit of currency, and I think we're working towards Ecuador there, which is obviously a country. So a reasonable start. Let's see if we can carry on making progress. Take the run from end to start of external path. Okay, a bit of a pause there. Nothing else occurring in the top half. Paper that reflects one's views. 6 letters. Well, it's the mirror. Not much more to say about that one. Let's have a look at 10 down. Former head restrains insolent humour, being courted for knowledge. So again here I'm thinking that the definition is being courted for knowledge, whatever that means. Former head, or expert opinion perhaps. So former, X, head restrains insolent humour. That's just expert witness maybe, or expert. Yeah, okay, that's going to be correct, isn't it? So we've got head, which again is often abbreviated in crosswords to ness. So we've got X, ness, around the edge of pert, wit, for insolent humour. So that's a good one to get because it has some unusual letters. Let's have a look at the one ending in W. With bribe, mean to grab, a place to live. I don't know why. I keep thinking of Wilmslow, which I'm sure it's not correct. Let's move on. Okay, this one should be very gettable for all of us who enjoy the films about Norse deities that there are nowadays. So point of name given to Norse deity. This is another abbreviation. N is often name. When we think of any 4-letter Norse deities, well, I thought of Odin and Thor and Loki, but Thor is the right one. If we add the N, we get thorn, and that's a point. Not many good letters from that one, so let's carry on. Swearing needs constant replacing with new to be original. Wow, here is an old favourite from Crosswords. This is not probably an easy clue, but it's a word I've only ever come across in Crosswords. There is a 7-letter word for a screen, which is reredos, and here the way that's broken down, engineers, RE is one of the many abbreviations for engineers. That's Royal Engineers. So it's 2 lots of those. Alter, if you alter something, you do it. And then small.
I can't connect to your Wi-Fi network. You can find setup instructions in the help section of your Alexa app.
Sorry.
Respect my authority!
Ultra small, so small is S there. So another series of small abbreviations to mean screen. Okay, not an easy puzzle today. Underling working under car, that's another gettable one though. So if something's working, it's on, which means we're looking for a 4-letter car. Auto, limo, then I thought of mini. So an underling is a minion. So that's helpful. Let's see if we can now get this swearing one. Swearing needs constant replacing with new to be original. So something like innovative. Okay, right, finally we've got round to one across again. This I should have got much quicker. Seabird beginning to get out of breath apparently. Well, we can see beginning to get in the middle of that, which suggests a G. Originally I was thinking the G was the start, so I was thinking about 7-letter C words, seabirds beginning with G. And then I've just realised it's the other way around, so it's to get out of breath apparently is actually the definition. So we're looking for a 6-letter seabird, and then the letter G. And if you think of puffing, then you're apparently out of breath, and that's the answer. Now that should be helpful, so let's see if I can actually make some progress now. Yeah, okay. Now, you can get this one in a variety of ways. Once you've got the F there, you might think of a patsy as a fall guy, and then it's a case of justifying it. So stay beside sink. If you sink, you fall, and a stay is a stay in terms of a rope, a guy rope. So that gives us fall guy. So that's helpful again. Champion has split from perhaps gettable now. So if you're the champion, you're the winner. And if the winner splits from his W, take the W away, you get inner, which is secret. So that's another useful solve, hopefully. Okay, now the G is helpful to solving this one, which is perhaps another difficult clue. So shoveling pounds into stomach made me think pounds is often abbreviated to L in Crosswords. So I wanted to put an L into a word for stomach. And here I thought of gut, that sounds like it might be a stomach. So that gives you glut. And then I thought, okay, 8-letter word, gluttony, and that's the answer. So the man is Tony. And the whole clue is meant to be read as a definition there. So if you're shoveling pounds into stomach, then you're showing gluttony. So that's helpful again. So okay, and now this is gettable. So again, don't be misled by the bogus instrument stopping short there. You're not looking for a word for a bogus instrument. You're actually just looking for a word that means 2 words that mean bogus. So then you can think of trumped up as a possible answer, and it's a case of justifying it. So instrument stopping short is trumpet without the T, and the Irish party on there is just saying on the end of the shortened trumpet. So you've got the DUP, which is of course the Irish party, and the whole thing means bogus. Okay, another reasonably awkward word here. Mean to keep a single one from a large brood in litter. Well, I actually got this one by just looking at the letters, and there is a word palanquin, which is a type of litter, as in something that carries somebody. So here we've got mean, which is plan, to keep a, so that's the A here, and then you've got single one from a large brood. Well, that's a quin. So that whole thing gives you palanquin. Difficult clue that. But now we need to make use of this Y, I think, if we can. Okay, moving on to the to one down. Such hair appalls pretend that's fashionable. Okay, so if we can see this is 13 letters altogether. And the word fashionable suggests that we might need to fashion some of the letters of the clue, i.e. anagram them. So can we find a string of 13 letters that look likely? Well, appalls pretend. Look, they certainly add up to the right number. And we're looking for a description of hair. And if you think about that, you might come up with pepper and salt, which is, I think, the answer. Now, poor Tom raged madly. Looks like it's Edgar, an anagram of raged. I'm not sure about the definition there. Could refer to T.S. Eliot. I'm going to have to check that afterwards. Forgive my ignorance. Unspecified item that I can do better than you in Berlin. Well, an unspecified item looks like anything. And why is that the answer?
Anything you could do, I could do better. I can do anything better than you.
No, you can't.
Yes, I
so
can.
No,
it's
you
a reference
can't.
to Irving Berlin.
No, you can't.
Yes, I can. Yes, I
And the song.
can.
Anything you can be, I can be greater. Sooner or later, I'm greater than
So
you.
now we've got a few more letters for 6 down. Youth needs one place in train. Well, here I was thinking about one place, because I need to put one place in the middle now. Place I know is often abbreviated to PL. So, and then if I was to do that, can we now think of a word that would fit here that might mean youth? And I can think of stripling. And then we can see that the train is in fact a string. So that's quite helpful, hopefully. Taking run from end to start of external path. Okay, so this is route. And the way the clue works here is we take the run, the R, R is very commonly abbreviated to R, and we take that from the end of external. So we take that from the end of outer, put it at the beginning, and we get route, which is a path. Okay, so this is not Wilmslow. Nobody will be surprised to hear. Okay, so this is now, I've now got this one. So a bribe here is a bung. Help if I could spell. Bribe, bung, mean. If you're mean, you're low. To grab a, so A in the middle, and a place to live, a bungalow. Okay, solicited, one threw up outside. Okay, so this again is now gettable. Threw up here is nasty because you're thinking of vomited, spewed, sicked. It's not that. It's actually thinking about threw up in the sense of if you throw a ball up, you lob. So it's lobbed, with a 1 inside to give you lobbied, solicited. Nice. What students may acquire, having taken a slightly political clue here. So students may acquire debt. Let's take in a U for the university to give you debut, and the start of a career is a debut. Okay, hearing of Alice's cat cafe. This just must be Dinah. Yeah, Dinah I think was appeared in not this spelling, but in Alice in Wonderland. I think she used to talk to her cat. I think that was D-I-N-A-H, so, although people will correct me if I've misremembered. Pastry case that further makes. This is a nice clue. Swearing needs constant replacing with new to be original. So I could see what I was looking for here, but it took me a while to come up with the word. So I knew I wanted a 9-letter word that meant swearing, and I wanted to replace the C in that word with an N. So constant again is often C. We know, because we've seen it before probably in this puzzle, that N is new. So then I thought eventually of invective, and if we change the C there to an N we get inventive, which is to be original. And that V is incredibly helpful because we can now see that this looks like turnover. Pastry case is a turnover, as in an apple turnover, and something a firm makes in the accounting sense is turnover. So that helped a lot. Agreement best rejected, it may be squeezed. Okay, and now thankfully these letters are all starting to help. So best rejected here is actually number 1 rejected. You can see that here. And if we do that, we're looking for something that can be squeezed, 9 letters. And there's your accordion. So agreement is a chord. Number 1 rejected. It may be squeezed, an accordion. Okay, and now this looks like hindrance, doesn't it? A barrier is a hindrance. We knew I was looking for a hind at the start, so let's put that in. Sprint, or hindrance. One spreading disease died in botched crime. Okay, so we can see here, this botched is such an odd word. It definitely is an anagram indicator. It's screaming anagram to me. So I need an anagram of crime, and then I need an abbreviation for died inside that anagram of crime. Now that sometimes is OB. It can just be the letter D actually, but here it's OB. We only need 2 letters, and once we put the OB inside, we're now looking for something that spreads disease, and you can see it's microbe. So we're nearly there. Make most of a young person's cape. Okay, well, this is a word you just have to know. A domino is a cape. Make most of, do. Make is to do. Most of a young person is most of minor. So the R's been removed, and that will be the answer. And finally, estuary English lacking in harsh north. The 7 is an estuary, and that is going to be the answer. And we can see that the severe has lost its E. English again, the abbreviation there, taken on the N, and the 7 estuary. So hopefully that's going to be the correct answer.